Hi, I'm Leathur Rokk, and welcome to my channel. I just voted. Oh man, let's hope I can get out of this parking lot here without attracting too much attention to myself. So, whoops, I can keep on talking to you, and then I'll tell you something of the experience. Because now, if you can look behind me, so I can, well, yeah, I better hide this on my computer so I don't get in trouble with anybody, because there is a sticker on the back of my computer and I don't want any problems, right? But, alright. Now that I'm safely out of here, I want to tell you all about what it was like to vote. First of all, I was really surprised when I approached the polling place and I saw a whole lot of electioneering materials, because they have a law here that says that you can't have any campaign stuff within 100 feet of the polling place entrance. And so I approach here, right, and I see, as you see this, nothing but all kinds of, and I'll vote for this and what. Of course, one thing we don't have right now is any vote for Trump stuff. You know, I gotta remedy that, right? So let me do this. Alright, so while we're on the subject of talking about like who people voted for, and I know this is supposed to be a secret ballot and all that stuff, but you know what? I voted for these guys. I voted straight up the red ticket. I voted for Donald J. Trump as my president, because we've had 4 years of him. We know that he gets stuff done. We need somebody that's going to get stuff done. Now, there's another interesting proposition that's on the ballot. For those of you who haven't voted yet and who are in Atlantic City, I urge you to consider. They have a question for us, and it pertains to weed and weed establishments. And it says it's a public question to be voted on. And matter of fact, rather than me trust my little pothead memory, I'm actually going to take a look at it. And it says, shall the redevelopment plan for the Green Zone redevelopment area be amended to include Kentucky Avenue, and that says Atlantic Avenue to Arctic Avenue, and Albany Avenue, and that is west of Albany Avenue Bridge to the ramp U-turn east. And, okay, the Green Zone, that's the area where they can have weed dispensaries, okay? And that's obviously important if you want to be able to safely, legally purchase tested cannabis and shit. Even though if you don't have ID, you can't get in anyway, no matter if you're hundreds of years old. But I digress. Anyway, this is about expanding this Green Zone to include more area, which would actually really be a good thing for neighbors. Because let me tell you something. Cannabis businesses are good neighbors. They are clean neighbors. They clean up after themselves. They do not allow loitering. They don't have trash. They are much quieter than you would ever imagine. They always take care of parking. They don't create bottlenecks or anything. They don't attract crime because they have such strict standards about who can even get in. They know that a lot of people still haven't read the memo that cannabis is good business and it's good for people and good for the planet, and tax revenues are good for municipalities, and people are slow to learn this. So these business owners and operators have every right to and every motivation to be very, very responsible citizens, and they are. Sometimes you would never even realize that they were cannabis businesses. They were just clean, discreet, responsible, quiet businesses. So to largen the Green Zone would really be beneficial to communities, and also it would be revenue makers for other businesses and for those residential people, because a lot of these are in mixed use zones. Really, it's going to be quiet for you. So yeah, please, if you haven't already and you're in the area, vote for yes on that proposition. But oh yeah, this has been an exciting election season, hasn't it? I mean, exciting, too exciting. All right, too exciting. And I'm gonna walk past a little bit. I want to tell you some of what my experience was like going there. Now, I went in there carrying my sample ballot, and I also got 2 different copies of my voter registration cards. Okay, so I had plenty of address proof and stuff. And as soon as I got there, and of course I was surprised that all this electioneering stuff was going on, then some people asked me, just as I entered the parking lot, they asked me what ward I lived in. And you know what, I had to think about it. That's where your sample ballot comes in. And I showed it to somebody and they said yes, and then I went into the hall, which I know that hall. That's a gym of the Star of the Sea School, you know. But what ended up, ooh, thank you. Oh, this nice lady let me know that I just dropped my sample ballot on the ground. Thank you, that would have been very bad. Anyway, I go in toward the direction of where I'm supposed to vote, and but I'm seeing so many people that are passing around all kinds of voting stuff. And a matter of fact, let's pass by some of that. I'm going to walk in the street so that I don't attract too much attention to myself. This is just so weird that you see that you're bombarded with this on the way to voting. To me, that kind of violates the spirit of the law, because it's like I took my MAGA hat off, right? And I was decided to like be all discreet with it and stuff, because I didn't want to do anything that would cause people to get mad at me and say, you know, you can't vote. Nobody wants to become disenfranchised, am I right? Now you see, what I don't understand, right now they have tables set up to register people to vote. How can that be when this is election day? You know, it's like, can't we go bring back election day instead of like having election month? You know, things have been kind of different, weird, oh God, should I say weird? Ever since when we had that presidential election, and it was George W. Bush ended up winning. And it took us a month to find out. Now, you know, I'm an election day baby, okay? That's another reason why I'm still wearing my birthday banner thing. I am, you see, they're taking care of their volunteers. They got them, gave them coffee and donuts and all that stuff. Anyway, where was I? When we were waiting to find out who the heck our president was going to be, I was living in Hollywood, California at the time, and I was hanging out, because it was my birthday, I was hanging out at this bar called the Cat and the Fiddle, and it's a British expatriates bar. It's, full of all these British people who either they still live there and they're visiting here, or they just moved here, or American people just move there back and forth. Anyway, they have magazines with immigration information and all kinds of stuff about Britain there, and it's quite exciting. And they have free bangers and mash all night while we were watching the election results. And let me tell you, if you've never had bangers and mash before, and no offense to my British fans, and I know I have people in England, but the sausages are not very, very strongly flavored, and the mashed potatoes were very, very, very soft, almost like soup. And I like a firmer mashed potato, and I like sausages with a bit more flavor, so I was a bit disappointed. I'm sorry. And I was drinking because this was my birthday, and this was year 2000, right? And of course, we would not know for a month that George W. Bush would end up being the winner. Now, at the time, I was still a Democrat, so I didn't want him to win. But then this was the year 2000, and of course, when 2001 happened and 9/11 happened, that just changed the course of history. We all know that, and that is, of course, what turned me red. So, but I loved Trump for years. I loved him way before he considered going into public office, you know. And the thing is, most people in all these rock stars who are stumping for Kamala, who hate Trump's guts, they were the same people who were hanging out with him in the 80s and 90s, you know. It's just a shame, the hypocrisy. Am I right? So, okay, so back to my election day thing. So I finally get to the entrance to the place to vote, right? And it's the gym at that church over there. Okay. And there's actually a line. And this is the first time I ever encountered a line every time I was voting. But they're saying on TV to anticipate lines and stuff, and I'm ready for anything. Because voting is like voting is the most important thing any of us can do this year, I think, honestly. Voting. You can love Trump all you want. You can care about your things that you care about all you want. But if you don't actually fill in the thing or press the lever, it doesn't matter. You need to find a way to make your voice count. And right now, voting is the only real way. And you want to make sure that it counts. And you know what? I like the new safeguards that they had. They say every state has a slightly different way of doing it. Well, one of the things I liked is when they ascertained that I was in the right ward, I went to the table, they had the machines for the proper ward, okay? Then when I did that, first thing they did when you know that thing where you put your signature down and you type your name, and they check to make sure that your signature matches on the rolls, all that stuff. And then they have you do it on the screen with this thing. And I thought that was really cool. Then they have you go in the booth, right? But you have to give this card that you have your signature on. You hand that to some guy. And then they give you this sheet of paper that you actually are going to stick in the machine. And what that does is that is a printer slip. And that actually types out the ballot that you cast, and that's really neat. I don't remember seeing that the last time I voted. So, and you know, haven't people been saying from the beginning, paper ballots are the most reliable? And plus that's proof. If electronic things go down, you have a paper backup. That's very important. So you get this paper thing that's printing out your votes as you cast. So I thought that was really groovy. And I thought you would use the same stylus thing that you used earlier, but apparently you use your fingers, so I used my fingers. So I went straight on down the line like I showed you, right? And it showed what it was on the piece of paper, and then you press this button and it comes out and you look at it and you make sure that it's how you typed, and yes, it was accurate. And then it says cast your ballot, and then I cast my ballot. And so I felt nice and secure seeing that in fact my ballots, as I typed it, was actually in it and it was printed out, and I liked that. So, and it was nice that they had people that were checking to make sure that you were voting from the exact specific address that you're living in. You know, that's important. Oh, what am I doing on this side of the street? So, I'm very happy with my results. Well, actually, I'll be happy with my results if Trump wins. But then after I did the voting, then I walked out the door. Oh, I noticed somebody hanging out near there had an Occupy Mars shirt, and of course I had to compliment them. I'm sure you guys know that Elon Musk wore a shirt that said Occupy Mars when he went to one of the Trump rallies. Oh, and somebody else likes Trump. You see, so many people love Trump. When I was trying to vote on my birthday, I was coming back from there, you know the experience, so I wasn't successful. I could find a place. Well, I met 3 people in the Blacks for Trump contingent, and they stopped me because the only thing that I had Trump on me at the time was, well, the big sticker that is on my computer, and now I got like 5 Trump stickers on my computer because I found some more Trump stickers. So, and I think I finally at that point had put this hat on, or one of the many Trump hats I have on. So, but now that was nice. But so, okay, I do my voting thing, right? Then what I ended up doing was I figured, let me think, when can I start this video here? Because I don't want to do the turnaround thing. I don't want to be too obvious, right? And I'm thinking, let me do this while I'm still in the parking lot. And if I kind of discreetly turn this on and I start talking to you, then I get to show you stuff. And that was how I was able to walk out of here. And but I did cast my vote. I voted for Trump. And but I had had some real nice conversations with some of the people around who I guess they are trying to teach people about some of the local candidates. And there are some candidates that they really, I wish they would do a better job of educating people about earlier in the season, such as the school board candidates. You need more information to go on than a slogan. And what information can I get maybe by your name? Because on one hand, I'm concerned about children being indoctrinated into certain highly leftist policies that I think amount to child abuse. On the other hand, I don't want kids indoctrinated into anything anti-American. So really, we need to be able to find out more information about some of these candidates. But yes, vote. Your vote counts. If it's a little bit inconvenient, the line's long, stand in the line and vote anyway. Please. This is the most important thing I did all year. Okay, well, I took Garfield in off the street. Okay, so but I did that. I started doing that before Christmas. Okay, so, but as far as what we can do that impacts our neighbors, our friends, the greater world, voting is so very important. I'm sure you have some cause that you care very deeply about. For me, it's the borders in our economy. So please vote. Okay, that's what's important. Vote, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.